So, continuing the topic on domestic violence and we women putting an end to this out there. So, they have a lot of time. A lot of women, a lot of women out there would normally be in long-term relationship and intimate relationships, short-term relationship, where they were being abused and victim of domestic violence out there. We as women don't need to allow ourselves to be in victim. I mean, they have sometimes they have a lot of women try to get out of it, try to come out of it, try to run away from it, but it's be so hard for them to escape from it because they has been maybe been threatened some kind of way, maybe they has been the victim has been victimized them by beating them, threatening them, trying to tell them that they're gonna take their life, and they either they think that the person gonna. So how long you are in a relationship and you constant being abused or you are a victim of domestic violence out there from your partner, you don't need to stay in a relationship like that. Because, for instance, that relationship is not a good relationship. It can take your life, it can damage you, it can leave you with mentally distress, it can leave you emotionally distressed, and it's not a good relationship to continue to be. And a lot of time, most women out there would normally be in an abusive relationship and they would not normally speak out. Even if they speak out, they would walk right back into that kind of relationship. They're gonna say, okay, I'm finished with this. Being in a relationship and you have been in an abusive relationship and you have been abused, you have been threatened, you have been beaten, you have been verbally abused, sexually abused, and you keep quiet about it. You keep quiet about it, you're not speaking out about it. Okay? That is where domestic violence actually remains. That is where you become a victim of domestic violence. That is where domestic violence take a toll on that relationship because you're not speaking out, because you kept quiet about it, and that is where domestic violence remain in the relationship because you're not coming out and say to anyone that, look, I have been abused, I have been a victim of domestic. So we women out there in society, we need to be very careful about what kind of relationship we are involving ourselves in, because most time 85 women out there who suffer from domestic violence is women out there. Why? Because we keep it a secret, we keep the abuse as a secret, we keep it silent, and that is what make it damage. It's damage the society of women out there. So we women out there, we don't need to keep silence about an abusive relationship. How long you have been abused by your partner, or you have been felt some way verbally, it could be physically, your partner has been beating you, he has been verbally, he could be cursing you every day, he could be bullying. So if you are a woman out there, or you are in a relationship and you are in an abusive relationship, you are suffering from some kind of domestic violence out there, you need to not keep quiet about it. You need to not, even if your partner by threatening you, because a lot of women don't speak out, they keep quiet about it, and that kind of damage you more as a woman. It damage you more when you keep quiet about it. Okay? Because if you don't speak out, you were not able to get the kind of help and the support to walk away from that abusive relationship, to walk away from that toxic relationship that you are in, to walk away from that criminal person in that relationship before you take your. We as women out there in society don't need to allow ourselves to be in a domestic violence relationship, because a lot of persons who suffer from abuse and domestic violence out there is women. 85% is women. Okay, because as I say, we allow ourselves, we kind of keep quiet about it. We don't normally speak out when we are suffering from being in a relationship, being in an intimate relationship, a long-term intimate relationship, a short-term intimate relationship. We don't normally speak out about it. We don't normally come out and say that I have been abused. Okay, so we need to speak out and walk away from that kind of relationship, because that kind of